Today, we're exploring the key ideas from ADHD is Awesome by Penn and Kim Holderness. This is an independent educational overview, enriched with our own integrative analysis and actionable exercises. Think of it as a guided reflection to spark your own insights, not a replacement for reading the book itself. The discussion around attention deficit hyperactivity disorder often begins with a narrative of challenge and deficit, yet this perspective misses a crucial truth. ADHD represents a distinctive neurological architecture, one that, while presenting specific hurdles, also endows individuals with a suite of potent, often underestimated strengths. Far from being a mere collection of impairments, this unique brain wiring fosters profound creativity, an unparalleled capacity for intense focus when captivated, and an innate drive to forge paths less traveled. This commentary seeks to dismantle conventional understandings of ADHD, moving beyond a clinical diagnosis to explore its rich, dynamic interplay of struggles and superpowers. It is an invitation to shift from a mindset of managing a disorder to strategically engaging with a unique operating system, ultimately enabling individuals to not merely navigate but truly thrive within their distinct mental landscape, transforming perceived weaknesses into catalysts for extraordinary accomplishment and deeply authentic living. A distinctive internal world, the ADHD operating system. To truly grasp attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is to move beyond simplistic labels and recognize it as a chronic, neurodevelopmental distinction in brain function, profoundly shaping how an individual perceives and interacts with their environment. It is neither a character flaw nor a conscious choice, but rather a neurologically driven experience impacting self-regulation. Individuals often navigate a world that feels subtly out of sync with their internal rhythms, leading to a pervasive sense of being misunderstood until they comprehend the unique mechanics of their own mind. At its core, ADHD manifests through a triad of primary characteristics: challenges with sustained attention, heightened impulsivity, and, frequently, an underlying restlessness. This doesn't mean a universal inability to focus. Rather, it's a difficulty in directing attention, to choose what to concentrate on. Imagine trying to read a complex report while simultaneously being acutely aware of the humming refrigerator, a flickering fluorescent light, and an insistent internal debate about the optimal route for a future road trip. This internal noise makes filtering out irrelevant data a constant, energy-intensive effort. Conversely, when a subject genuinely sparks interest, the ADHD brain can lock into a state of intense hyperfocus, an almost impermeable concentration where hours vanish unnoticed, like a passionate sculptor losing track of time while perfecting an intricate detail. The brain's frontal lobe, often likened to an internal CEO, plays a pivotal role in executive functions, the high-level cognitive processes that govern planning, decision-making, emotional regulation, and impulse control. For someone with ADHD, this inner CEO might be less rigid, more inclined to every novel idea or momentary desire, sometimes to the detriment of ongoing projects. This leads to a weaker internal braking system, where an impulse to speak before thinking or to immediately pursue a new shiny object often overrides rational consideration. This neurological difference isn't a deficiency of will, it's a difference in how these vital regulatory mechanisms operate, often developing later and exhibiting reduced activity in key areas. For example, instead of pausing to weigh the consequences of buying an expensive, unnecessary gadget, the brain might jump straight to the immediate gratification of the purchase. Furthermore, the ADHD brain processes internal chemistry distinctively, particularly concerning dopamine, the neurotransmitter crucial for motivation, reward, and focus. An individual with ADHD might require more external stimulation to achieve a baseline level of engagement, seeking out novelty and challenge as a means of generating this essential feel-good neurochemical. This explains a chronic aversion to boredom, which is experienced not merely as dullness, but as a physically uncomfortable state, driving a perpetual search for more stimulating experiences. Memory, too, presents its own unique landscape. It's not necessarily a problem with storing information, but rather with accessing it, especially working memory, the mental scratch pad that holds data needed for immediate tasks. Imagine a bustling office desk where important documents are constantly buried under new, unsorted papers. Remembering where one placed their keys moments ago becomes a challenge when the brain is simultaneously juggling a dozen other unrelated thoughts. Similarly, the concept of time can be elusive, often described as time blindness. The ADHD brain tends to be intensely present-focused, making it difficult to accurately estimate task durations or prioritize future deadlines. A deadline next week can feel as abstract as a distant galaxy until it becomes an immediate, pressing concern. Emotionally, the internal world can be particularly vivid and volatile. Feelings are experienced with profound intensity, often shifting rapidly from intense frustration to boundless joy within moments, a phenomenon some describe as emotional amnesia. When overwhelmed, perhaps by a series of minor setbacks at work or a simple miscommunication, the executive functions can become flooded, leading to powerful emotional outbursts that resemble childhood tantrums. This isn't a deliberate loss of control, it's the brain's regulatory capacity reaching its limit, triggering an instinctive prefrontal cortex bypass. Understanding this neurological basis is crucial, as it reframes these experiences from personal failings to manifestations of a unique brain wiring. It is critical to recognize that ADHD is a snowflake condition. No two individuals experience it identically. Symptoms manifest along a spectrum, varying day by day and person by person, influenced by stress, environment, and personal interest. This variability also contributes to significant underdiagnosis, particularly in adults who have learned to mask symptoms, women whose internal restlessness is often misattributed to anxiety, highly intelligent individuals whose cognitive gifts compensate, and minority populations facing systemic biases. The journey to understanding ADHD begins with acknowledging its intricate, dynamic, and often paradoxical nature. Reframing identity, embracing the ADHD advantage. The journey through life with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder often begins under the shadow of its very name, laden with terms like deficit and disorder that inherently suggest a lack or malfunction. This nomenclature, echoing outdated concepts, can profoundly impact self-perception, fueling a sense of inadequacy or brokenness. A growing chorus of experts advocates for a renaming, suggesting more dynamic descriptors like attention modulation disorder or variable attention stimulus trait, which more accurately reflect the vibrant, often scattered, but undeniably energetic nature of the ADHD brain. Shifting this semantic landscape is crucial to fostering a sense of identity rooted in strength rather than perceived pathology. To truly embrace an ADHD identity, one must first dismantle pervasive misconceptions. A diagnosis is not a flaw, but a neutral description of how a brain processes information. Far from being an isolated experience, neurodivergence, including ADHD, is remarkably prevalent, meaning individuals are never truly alone in their journey. Crucially, behaviors associated with ADHD are involuntary manifestations of neurological differences, not deliberate choices or character failings. Expecting someone with ADHD to simply focus is akin to demanding an allergy sufferer stop sneezing. It misunderstands the underlying biological mechanism. Moreover, the brain possesses remarkable neuroplasticity, meaning that with the right strategies and support, growth and significant improvement are always possible. ADHD is highly treatable, offering individuals agency and control over their symptoms. Finally, there is absolutely no room for shame. This is an inherent brain difference, not a fault. It is a legitimate neurological condition, and recognizing its reality paves the way for understanding and compassionate support. The path to accepting an ADHD identity often unfolds through distinct stages. Initially, there's a belief that conformity to neurotypical norms is the only path. This leads to frustrating, often unsuccessful attempts to fix oneself. The eventual realization that fundamental brain wiring isn't easily altered can bring disappointment, but this often serves as a pivot point. The crucial shift occurs when individuals accept their unique brain and begin to appreciate its inherent value, moving towards a comprehensive understanding of their distinctive strengths and weaknesses. This culminates in celebrating ADHD not as an obstacle to be overcome, but as an integral, valuable facet of oneself. Cultivating a positive outlook demands conscious effort. It requires a fundamental mindset shift, transforming self-talk from internal bullying to self-compassion. Instead of criticizing a perceived social misstep, one can recalibrate by asking if it was truly a major error or a common occurrence. Remind yourself that many others with ADHD share similar experiences, and importantly, distinguish between me and my ADHD, recognizing the condition as a part, not the whole of who you are. This self-kindness can be reinforced with positive self-rewards. Radical acceptance is also vital, acknowledging your unique wiring without fighting it, not as a resignation to challenges, but as a realistic starting point for developing effective strategies. Furthermore, avoiding comparison to neurotypical peers is essential. Judging a fish by its ability to climb a tree only leads to despair. Instead, celebrate inherent gifts like vision, humor, and willingness to take risks. Finally, learn to put things in perspective. Most daily hiccups are not catastrophic heart attacks, and finding humor in minor blunders can diffuse shame and build resilience. Indeed, many traits commonly labeled as negative can be powerfully reframed as significant strengths. What might be seen as hyper transforms into boundless energy, driving vitality and engagement. Easily bored morphs into a profound hunger for something new, fueling curiosity and continuous learning. A sense of being a misfit becomes the hallmark of a nonconformist, fostering innovation and diverse contributions. Impulsivity, under a new light, is seen as raw creativity, birthing new ideas from uninhibited thought. Risk-taking becomes bravery, pushing boundaries and driving exploration. Overreactive reflects deep sensitivity to experiences and fairness. Non-compliant becomes an independent thinker, questioning norms and standing against injustice. Unpredictable reveals remarkable flexibility and resourcefulness. Distractible is reframed as profound curiosity, leading to unique insights. Even sloppy can be seen as a focus on the big picture, allowing for rapid progress without getting bogged down by minor details. This reframe reveals concrete upsides. The ADH mind is a natural wellspring of creativity, approaching problems with divergent thinking, generating novel solutions rather than merely refining existing ones. This imaginative capacity extends beyond artistic pursuits, applying to business strategy or daily problem solving. Then there is hyperfocus, an extraordinary capacity for intense, sustained concentration when genuinely engaged. It's a potent superpower for productivity, allowing individuals to block out distractions and achieve immense output, though it does carry the quirky potential to make one oblivious to the world outside the task. Critically, because traditional paths often don't fit, ADHD empowers individuals to choose their own adventure, deliberately crafting a life from career to lifestyle that aligns with their unique wiring, turning potential struggles into profound personal fulfillment. Beyond personal advantages, individuals with ADHD also enrich the lives of others. Their journey often cultivates profound compassion and empathy, making them exceptionally supportive friends and partners who understand and validate others' struggles. They can excel at specific, clearly defined tasks, especially those offering frequent dopamine hits, like assembling furniture or tidying up after an event. Partners often appreciate their extroverted energy, which injects spontaneity and fun into daily life, leading to constant laughter and engaging moments. While they may exhibit mess blindness, they are also non-judgmental of a partner's disarray. Their hyperfocus can be harnessed for detailed, dreaded tasks, and their abundant creativity constantly sparks new ideas. Having overcome daily hurdles, they demonstrate immense persistence and a unique perspective-shifting mindset, making them open-minded and adaptable. Their natural communication skills often shine in public speaking, and their pivot power allows them to quickly abandon ineffective ideas, fostering progress. Strategic thriving, cultivating an ADHD-compatible life. Beyond understanding and acceptance, the path to flourishing with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder lies in implementing concrete strategies and building robust support systems. While navigating a neurotypical world demands constant effort, ADHD is remarkably treatable, enabling individuals to achieve remarkable trajectories. This requires commitment, akin to training for a marathon, to harmonize the brain with its environment and harness its incredible power. Modern best practices advocate for a comprehensive approach, primarily combining medication and behavioral intervention. Medication, through stimulants or non-stimulants, can significantly enhance brain communication, improving attention and focus, though finding the right fit is a personalized process under medical guidance. Complementing this, behavioral interventions, ranging from therapy and accommodations to coaching and skill development, equip individuals with practical tools for daily navigation. Research consistently shows that a combination approach yields the most profound benefits, though robust behavioral support alone can lead to substantial improvement. Effective treatment is a journey, not a quick fix. It demands ongoing effort, incremental changes, a proactive focus on prevention, and personalized strategies chosen by the individual. Most importantly, it's powerfully reinforced through immediate, self-chosen rewards that tap into the ADHD brain's natural inclination for dopamine. At the heart of sustainable well-being lies conscious self-regulation, ensuring the brain's battery remains charged. Individuals with ADHD, like early electric vehicles, experience quicker depletion of their regulatory capacity, necessitating frequent recharging through the Big Six essential elements. Firstly, exercise is a potent natural stimulant, boosting critical neurotransmitters like dopamine and norepinephrine, which enhance focus and calm. Even short, engaging bursts of activity can align the ADHD brain closer to neurotypical function. Secondly, sleep is paramount. Insufficient rest severely impairs regulation and intensifies symptoms. Establishing consistent routines, managing evening stimuli, and using mental tasks to quiet a racing mind are foundational. Thirdly, nutrition plays a supportive role. A balanced diet rich in vegetables and protein with minimal sugar provides stable brain fuel, preventing the crashes junk food can induce. Fourthly, connection with a supportive pit crew, trusted friends, family, and ADHD-savvy professionals buffers stress and provides essential external validation. Fifthly, for many, medication is a critical component, optimizing brain chemistry and improving self-regulation when combined with behavioral strategies. Finally, meditation and mindfulness, adapted for the ADH mind through active engagement, e.g. crafting, focused breathing, or open-eyed meditation, powerfully manage stress and quiet internal chatter. Mastering daily routines transforms chaos into predictability. Identifying points of failure, recurring moments where ADHD typically derails efforts, allows for targeted intervention. The strategy is to tackle one goal at a time, observing personal energy rhythms, and crucially, never relying solely on memory. Writing everything down, from grocery lists to multi-step projects, externalizes mental load. Visual reminders like sticky notes become indispensable cues. Daily checklists, breaking tasks into minute, satisfying steps, build momentum and reinforce completion. Analog planners often prove more effective than digital, offering a focused, manageable overview. Establishing a schedule with grace periods built in reduces overwhelm, while boredom busters provide constructive mental engagement during lulls. Practical organization means storing items where they are actually used, creating a launch pad for essentials, and having backup stashes of frequently misplaced items. Simple anti-loss hacks like using mnemonic songs, wearing cargo pants, or investing in distinct key fobs prevent daily frustrations. Furthermore, consciously controlling one's environment is paramount for cultivating focus. The ADHD brain is highly susceptible to distractions. Every sound, visual cue, or tangential thought can derail concentration. This requires active environmental engineering. Firstly, securing a dedicated workspace physically separated from potential disruptions establishes a crucial mental and physical buffer. This might involve closing a door or clearly communicating a need for uninterrupted time. Secondly, decluttering is non-negotiable. Visual clutter overwhelms the nervous system and invites tangential thought. Keeping only essentials in sight and removing all electronic devices, especially smartphones, from the immediate vicinity minimizes subtle mental drains. Thirdly, optimizing physical comfort, from chair height to room temperature, ensures the body isn't a source of distraction. Fourthly, managing sensory input involves finding the right level of background stimulation, often achieved with white noise or gentle music, while avoiding overwhelming environments. Fidget tools can also provide helpful physical input. Finally, enhancing visual engagement with information through color-coding notes or using bionic reading techniques captures and sustains interest. When faced with the pervasive challenge of getting it done, especially tasks lacking inherent interest, specific techniques are invaluable. The ADHD brain thrives on novelty and personal engagement, but daily life rarely provides this constant trifecta. Strategies include discovering the deeper mission's meaning behind mundane tasks, prioritizing completion, recognizing that multitasking clogs the mental fishbowl, meticulously defining done for clarity, preparing the workspace beforehand to minimize interruptions, embracing detailed checklists for actionable steps, scheduling regular brain breaks to preemptively manage mental wandering, leveraging immediate self-chosen rewards, and injecting urgency by racing against the clock with arbitrary deadlines. The 2-minute dash rule, doing anything that takes less than 2 minutes immediately, prevents mental backlog. When all else fails, acknowledging the struggle, seeking an assist from a support system, and allowing loved ones to gently recenter focus are crucial emergency tactics. Supporting someone with ADHD also requires a nuanced, compassionate approach. Loved ones become ADHD whisperers by prioritizing connection over correction. A simple, "Wow, that sucks," validates their experience, easing tension far more effectively than immediate problem-solving. Empathy is foundational, understanding that forgetfulness stems from brain wiring, not a lack of care. Sending good vibes only means choosing battles wisely, letting go of minor annoyances, and lavishly praising desired behaviors. Finally, using clear, specific imperatives for small, reasonable goals transforms broad requests into actionable steps, breaking down "clean your room" into "put your shoes away, then put your books on the shelf." This radical commitment to clarity removes shame and builds confidence. For parents and caretakers, the role is that of a coach, guiding with support and boundaries, shielding from excessive pressure, and championing strengths. Radical acceptance of the child they have, rather than an idealized version, is paramount. A positive, engaged home environment, bolstered by parent training programs in active listening and consistency, significantly mitigates emotional outbursts and fosters development. In school, parents become vital interpreters and advocates, collaborating on accommodations like standing desks or extended test times, eventually empowering children to advocate for themselves. However, caretaking takes its toll. Loved ones often bear significant mental and logistical burdens, necessitating robust self-care. This includes prioritizing sleep, safeguarding personal space, releasing the burden of feeling solely responsible, reevaluating secret contracts for task distribution, seeking external assistance, integrating daily self-care beyond occasional pampering, and accepting fleeting moments of frustration without guilt. For individuals with ADHD, acknowledging this immense support is critical. ADHD is an explanation, not an excuse. Taking responsibility, honoring loved ones' right to frustration, articulating needs transparently, offering advance warnings, and expressing frequent, specific gratitude are all vital for building resilient, supportive relationships. Finally, the challenge of listening often highlights the disconnect between internal thought and external interaction. The ADHD brain's tendency for spontaneous mental wandering can lead to non-kinetic interruptions, where one is physically present but mentally distant. This impacts relationships profoundly. Active listening is a learnable skill, enhanced by mentally repeating phrases, mining for gold by paraphrasing, and analyzing content for personal relevance. When the mind drifts, empathetic sounds can buy time, and honest apologies explaining the ADHD-driven lapse, coupled with a sincere desire to re-engage, can repair conversational breaches, strengthening bonds through vulnerability and effort. Integrative Analysis and Implications. The journey through the landscape of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, as illuminated in this comprehensive overview, reveals far more than a simple diagnostic label. It uncovers a profound argument for neurodiversity as a valuable and essential component of human experience. The implication is clear. Society's historical insistence on a singular, neurotypical mode of operation has inadvertently stifled immense potential and inflicted unnecessary suffering on individuals whose brains are wired for a different, often highly adaptive, form of processing. One of the most significant implications is the imperative for a societal shift, moving beyond the medicalization of differences towards an embrace of varied cognitive styles. This means reevaluating environments, from educational institutions to workplaces, to accommodate and leverage these unique strengths. Imagine schools designed with staccato learning, embracing shorter, dynamic classes and frequent movement, or workplaces where an initial burst of hyperfocus isn't seen as sporadic, but as an indicator of an individual's optimal work pattern. When structures are flexible enough to meet the ADHD brain's needs, its craving for novelty, its aversion to boredom, its capacity for divergent thought, the so-called deficits often recede, replaced by clear advantages. The emphasis on reframing is not merely about positive thinking. It is a critical act of reclaiming identity and agency. By understanding the neurological underpinnings of ADHD, individuals can shed the internalized shame and self-blame that often accumulate over a lifetime of perceived failures. This understanding is the foundation for self-compassion, recognizing that struggles are often symptoms of brain differences, not moral failings. This newfound compassion then empowers individuals to strategically engage with their condition, moving from passive struggle to active, informed management. A core message of empowerment reverberates throughout the strategies for thriving. From leveraging medication and behavioral therapies to meticulously crafting routines and controlling environments, the book outlines a path where individuals are not defined by their diagnosis, but are actively shaping their lives around it. The Big Six for regulation, the checklists, the environmental adjustments, and the precise communication techniques all underscore a fundamental truth. While ADHD is chronic, its symptoms are profoundly manageable. It demands vigilance and ongoing effort, but the rewards, a regulated system, increased productivity, and enhanced relationships, are transformative. Furthermore, the insights into supporting others with ADHD and the crucial role of caretakers highlight the relational dimension of neurodiversity. It underscores the profound impact of empathy, clear communication, and positive reinforcement in fostering understanding and harmony. For caretakers, the call for self-care is not a luxury, but a necessity. A recognition that sustainable support requires a replenished reservoir of patience and energy. And for individuals with ADHD, the message is one of responsibility tempered with self-compassion. Acknowledge the impact of actions, communicate needs transparently, and express gratitude for the vital support received. Ultimately, this commentary on ADHD offers a powerful blueprint for a fulfilling life, characterized not by the absence of challenges, but by the strategic navigation of them. It is a testament to the idea that understanding oneself, building a robust support network, and continuously adapting strategies can transform what might initially appear as a lifelong struggle into a profound source of strength, creativity, and unique contribution to the world. It's a journey of continuous self-discovery, where each small victory contributes to a larger narrative of resilience and thriving. Actionable Exercises. Actionable Exercises. 1. Reframe your inner critic. Your ADHD brain is a powerful engine, but sometimes its self-talk is stuck on negative. This exercise helps you shift from self-blame to understanding and appreciation, turning perceived flaws into unique aspects of your brilliant mind. Think of a recent moment where you felt frustrated with an ADHD-related behavior, perhaps forgetting something, getting distracted, or being impulsive. Instead of beating yourself up, try one of the 4 R's of reframing. Recalibrate. Was it truly a catastrophe or a common minor slip that anyone could make? Remember, it's not just you. Acknowledge that many others with ADHD share similar experiences and thoughts. Remind yourself, it's not me, it's my ADHD. Separate your identity from the condition. It's a part of you, not all of you. Reward yourself for being compassionate. Give yourself a mental pat on the back for being kind to yourself in that moment. Next, choose one ADHD trait you often see as a negative, e.g., distractible, impulsive, sloppy. How can you reframe it into a strength? For instance, distractible can become curious, impulsive can become creative, and sloppy can become focused on the big picture. See the hidden blessing in your unique wiring. 2. Build your ADHD guardrails. Your amazing ADHD brain thrives with external support and structure. Instead of battling daily chaos, let's build guardrails, simple systems that keep you on track without relying solely on memory. First, identify one recurring point of failure in your day. This might be always misplacing your keys, forgetting a specific task, or struggling to start a project. Choose just one to focus on this week. Now, design a simple visual guardrail for it. For lost items, create a launch pad by your door, a dedicated hook or tray for essentials like keys, wallet, and phone. Put a small, colorful note on the door reminding you to check it before leaving. For forgotten tasks, get a small whiteboard or use sticky notes prominently placed where you will see them, on your bathroom mirror, next to the coffee maker, for essential daily reminders. For starting a project, clear your workspace of all potential distractions. Remove your phone and any visual clutter. Gather every necessary tool or material before you sit down to begin. These small, visible adjustments create an environment that works with your brain, not against it, giving you more energy and less frustration. 3. The meaning mission task conqueror. Some tasks feel like pushing a boulder uphill, draining your motivation. This exercise helps you tap into your natural drive and make any task, big or small, feel more achievable and even engaging. Choose one task you've been avoiding or struggling to complete. Instead of just seeing it as a chore, actively find its deeper meaning. How does completing this task serve a larger goal you care about, e.g., being a good partner, a healthier you, creating space for fun? Who benefits from this getting done, and how does it make you feel when you succeed? Next, break this task down into the smallest possible done steps. Clean the garage becomes take out the trash bag, stack the 3 empty boxes, find all the pickleball paddles and put them in the basket. Write these tiny, actionable steps on a physical checklist. The more granular, the better. Each checkmark provides a satisfying win. Finally, choose a small, immediate reward for completing the first 2 to 3 steps or the entire task if it's short. This could be a favorite song, 5 minutes of stretching, or a satisfying snack. Use this positive reinforcement to boost your brain's natural dopamine drive. 4. Recharge your regulation battery. Your ADHD brain is like an early electric car. Its regulation battery depletes quickly and needs frequent boosts. This exercise helps you proactively recharge your internal resources to keep your emotions, attention, and energy balanced. The Big 6 are your essential charging stations: exercise, sleep, nutrition, connection, medication, and meditation. Pick one area from the Big 6 that you know could use a boost this week. For example, exercise. Commit to 10 minutes of joyful movement daily. Dance, walk, stretch, or do some vigorous chores. Sleep. Go to bed 15 minutes earlier than usual, or avoid screens for 30 minutes before bed. Nutrition. Add 1 serving of vegetables to 1 meal each day. Connection. Reach out to a supportive friend or family member for a brief positive chat. Meditation. Try 5 minutes of focused breathing, listen to gentle white noise, or engage in an active mindfulness hobby like drawing or building with Legos. Choose an action that feels small and completely achievable. Commit to practicing it daily for 5 days. Notice how this small, consistent effort impacts your focus, mood, and overall sense of control. Small changes can lead to big improvements in your brain's regulation. 5. Practice gold mining in conversations. Genuine listening can be a powerful challenge for the ADHD brain, but it's a crucial skill for building and maintaining deeper connections. This exercise helps you actively engage in conversations even when your mind wants to wander. Before your next important conversation with a partner, friend, or colleague, set an intention to mine for gold. This means actively searching for the most important or interesting point the other person is trying to convey, rather than just waiting to speak. As they speak, mentally repeat their last few words to yourself to help anchor your focus. If your mind drifts, use a subtle bailout phrase like, "Wow, that's interesting, tell me more," or a simple empathetic sound to buy time and re-engage. When they pause, paraphrase what you heard. "So, if I'm understanding correctly, you're saying their main point, is that right?" This not only confirms your understanding, but also shows them you're truly listening and valuing their input. Acknowledge and apologize if you realize you've genuinely zoned out. "I'm sorry, my brain momentarily took a detour. Can you repeat that last part? I really want to hear it." Practicing gold mining transforms listening from a passive act into an active quest, strengthening your relationships and making you feel more present and engaged. That wraps up our exploration of today's book. If even one idea here gave you something to reflect on, give it a like so YouTube knows to share more with you. And if you'd like the next insight in your feed, hit subscribe. Remember, what you heard today is our independent interpretation, enriched with analysis and exercises. The full book has far more depth, so consider reading it to experience the author's work directly. Thanks for listening to DeftU Insights, where we turn great books into tools for growth.